I'm Tiffany Gourley Carter, Policy Counsel at the National Council of Nonprofits, and this is your nonprofit nonpartisan election tip on online voter registration. Today, we have Mary Alice Scott from the Maine Association of Nonprofits. And Mary Alice, you just adopted online voter registration, which is very exciting. How did this come about?
So Maine has a proud history of leading the country when it comes to voting access. We were the first state to adopt in-person same-day voter registration, but we were sort of behind the curve when it came to online voter registration, and more than half of the states in the country have already adopted it, but Maine has just fully implemented it this year after passing it in 2021. And it came about really because the Secretary of State worked with other nonprofits across the state to try and modernize our elections. And people are so used to doing everything online that it felt a little weird that we hadn't done it yet. So this is our first big election where people will be able to register online.
So what kind of benefits do you see for voters with online voter registration?
Prior to working at Maine Association of Nonprofits, I have been a champion for easy voting access for much of my adult life. And so I've done voter registration drives in the past, and I have memories of carrying around the little green cards and bringing them to people, distributing them. And this just makes it so much easier for folks who, have trouble finding those voter registration cards. I have a memory of seeking out the voter registration card when I moved a lot when I was in my earlier years, in my 20s. I moved a lot. And so if you're someone who moves with any frequency, if you're a student, if you're in a rural area, it can be hard to access those physical cards. And so this is really making it easier for people to register where they are, where they live. You can just go online and do it. A few clicks later and you are done. It's so much easier than tracking down physical pieces of paper in your city hall or in the library or with somebody who happens to be doing a voter registration drive near you.
And what can nonprofits do to help get the word out about online voter registration?
Yeah, so like I said, it's hard sometimes for nonprofits to do the actual voter registration. If you're having an in-person event, then sometimes maybe an organization would bring the cards with them and give them out to people. But now you don't have to be doing an in-person event. You can just include links in your newsletter. You can do a pop-up on your website. You can do a blog post. You can put it on social media. All of these tools and reminders for folks. You may even want to just remind your staff. I think you'll be surprised if you send it out to your staff that there may be a person or two who haven't registered, who newly moved, or who've changed their name, who have a circumstance that requires that they change their voter registration. And so I think nonprofits should take every opportunity they can, think about their regular communication channels, and think about what easy ways they can plug the links to their state's registration form, and make sure that more people are registering where you live.
And so what do voters actually need to know? Is there anything that they need to know to access their online voter registration, or do they need to do anything specific?
It will be different from state to state. In Maine, you go onto the Secretary of State's website. If you just Google online voter registration Maine or online voter registration in your state, the link will often come up close to the top of the search results. In Maine, you don't have to have a state ID, but a lot of other states, you have to have a state ID in order to register online. And that's because of the requirement that they be able to match your signature to other, if you're signing an absentee ballot, or if you're signing other types of election-related materials, they want to make sure that they can match your signature. And so in Maine, if you don't have a state ID, you can use an electronic signature. You can take a picture of your signature and submit that. But in other states, you may have to have a driver's license or a state ID in order to register online.
Okay, and our last question, is there anything else either voters or nonprofits should know about online voter registration?
The main thing for me is just how easy it is. I think that voting access is so important, and people are a lot more likely to vote if they get registered and if they make a plan about voting on election day, or voting ahead of time, as it may be. And so I think that just getting the word out about the ease of registration is a really big way that nonprofits can engage in the election and make sure that people are paying attention. There have been examples across the nation of, important things happening because one vote made a difference in the election. I think there's a Wikipedia page dedicated to one vote deciding elections, so it's kind of fun to pour through that. But yeah, I think it's really important and really easy. And this way, if you're filling things out online, you don't have to worry about messy handwriting.
Thank you, Mary Alice, for this quick nonprofit, nonpartisan election tip on online voter registration. I'm Tiffany Gourley Carter. Make sure you're registered and go vote.